Let's jump in our tutorial maps so I can talk about. Oops, nope, I have to put this away. This actually was the thing you just saw right now. I don't know if you catch it or not, but it is a spoiler for the tomorrow class. So tomorrow class will be about the developer topics, so I will save that for tomorrow. For today, actually, it is all about triggers. So let's see if we, yes, we do already have some trigger here. We will create a new trigger set and rename it to class 5. Yes, right. I think we are all set already for today class. I will be guiding you some triggers for your Parkour maps. Right, so the first trigger I'm going to show you today is the reswarm point that you don't even need to use the original tools for it. Is this one. So normally if you are building your Parkour maps, you need this for the player to reswarm at this particular point, but with triggers you actually can skip this. You don't actually need these tools. I mean, it depends if you want to invest in triggers or not, but it is a bit more complicated. But you know, you don't have to put this out, and the platform will be much nicer without anything in the way. So let me just show you how we do it. Right, so you want to set an area with the tool mode. So like this area, for example. After you have the area for your platform, now you can start figuring out your triggers. No, you're still early, trust me. We only like 5 minutes and I haven't even started teaching anything yet, so don't worry about that. Here we go. The first trigger, we will use the player tab. When player enter the area and you want to choose that area to be the region that you just picked, you can check it by clicking on the region and you will see what region it is. So confirm, and then we go to action. If I remember correctly, it is change respawn point. Yes, so change player in trigger event respawn point to event position. So basically what this does is, once you get to this step, like when you get to this step from here, you don't need to click on this to actually reswarm here, because now the trigger have already done it for you. So let's try that out. Let's try going to this platform and then try dying. So how can I die? Well, I can't. So hold on, I need something to kill me. Right, we have a Nezuko here who can help us out. Let's do that again. Nezuko will help us out. Right, so here, and Nezuko should be able to reduce my HP to 0. Then we can see if the trigger works or not. Come on, Nezuko, hit harder. Come on, you can do it. Just a little bit more. One more. There we go. So we should be able to reswarm at the area that we set up. And there you go. So as soon as I enter this region, I will reswarm at this point where I enter. But if you want to make it even nicer, you can fix the trigger to you go to here, you change this event position, you go to function library, you go to central location of area. So you pick the region of that platform again, and now when you die, you actually will reswarm at the middle, at at the center of this platform, which is a lot nicer than here. So we can test that out as well, just for the sake of this tutorial. Nezuko is just cute. Right, so now we should be able to reswarm at the center of the platform. Wait, what? Oh, I didn't I didn't walk in the platform, so that's my bad. Right, so you should walk in the platform first, so your reswarm point is safe by the triggers, and then you can die. You wanna see Nezuko in a first-person view? I mean, she is not perfect, but why isn't she looking at me? Come on, this is not working. I'm trying to see her from the front angle, but oh well. Now we know the trigger works or not. Here we go. See, right at the center of the platform. So now you got that triggers, you can apply it to every single platform between steps in your parkour maps. Like if you want it to be activated, yes, you have to do a lot of area choosing like this, but as you can see, it worked a lot smoother than the original tools, which player have to click on it to actually save their respawn point. Right, so that is the first trigger. So as you can see, trigger is not an advanced function that you need a lot of time to actually learn one. You just need to understand how trigger works in order to create multiple unique triggers on your own. So I only show you like the very basic triggers for parkour maps, but you can do some really advanced stuff with from this basic tutorial. Right, so now the second trigger you want to use in the parkour maps is the killing trigger. I don't know how to call it. So you have the reswarm trigger. Now you need the killing trigger. Once the player like drop off the track, they will die. So normally people tend to use the lava blocks, which I'm trying to find right now. Where is the lava blocks, to be honest? Oh yeah, the lava blocks actually in the tool section right here. So normally what people do, they pop lava underneath of the tracks, so when player drop down, they can go to the lava themselves and try killing themselves with it. But as you can see, that take a lot of time, a lot of effort, and if you haven't know, the lava blocks actually make your maps more unstable. Your creation can be a lot lagger if you have many lava blocks around your tracks. So here is a better way to do this. You use triggers is always trigger that makes everything more convenient. So now you pick the what do you call the area that you predict that your players will drop down from the track, like if, for example, this one. Right, so now you set up the area like this. For example, yeah, let's do it like this. So as you can see, if the players fall off the tracks and fell down into this area, they would die immediately. They don't need to walk to the lava and wait for themselves to burn out to death. And yes, you can make this area a lot bigger for your track. This is just an example that I make for you guys. So now let's see how the trigger works. So we have this one is the reswarm, right? I will just use relive. And this one, new one, is the kill trigger. So let's name it kill, and it's similar We use the player tab, we use the player enters area. We pick the new region, this one, and then we pick our action, which is player defeat player, right? So it is that simple. Now we can test out both triggers at once. Let's say I'm here, I just arrived at this platform, and then I failed to jump through this one, and I die. As soon as I fell down the area, I die. Right, so now I will respawn at the center of the platform right here, and I can just try again. So as you can see, trigger makes everything a lot more easier, a lot more smoother. But yes, you have to invest a bit more effort in it to actually pull off the triggers in mini world. So just keep in mind these two most basic trigger for parkour maps to make your parkour more like advanced and have a better gameplay experience. Right, so this is the two first trigger for today, and if you can apply the trigger for your parkour maps for the building event, you have a much higher chance of winning. Right, so next trigger I want to show you is the pick up item trigger. So right, we will have to use some models for this. Let's use this custom block that I used earlier. Let's use the polar bear one, right? So let's say I put let's go to this platform, right? So let's say I put the polar bear blocks here. Just keep in mind this is a block, this is not a creature. Although it is moving its eyes, is not a creature. You can create blocks like have animation, but it's still a block, it's not a trigger. You see, I can stand on it, it's just like a single block. So now what you want to do is we go to triggers again, and now we create a new triggers. We will call this the pickup triggers. Right, pickup triggers. So how this work? You go to player, right? So let's see, we have player, we want to pick the when player click on block, because we have a block now, and then you go to the you need the condition for this one. You need to pick the blocks and click on determine block type. You need to pick this to type of blocks in event, and this one you go to the template library, you go to custom block or any blocks that you want to use for this trigger. For this example, I use this polar blocks, so I will pick that, and then you go to action. Now you click on player, you click on add item. So this action will give the player one items that you have set up for them. So let's say if I click on the polar bear blocks, I will receive, okay, what will I receive? Alright, so let's say I receive a salmon fish. Right, so now you can test it out in the play mode. Right, so now if I click on this polar blocks, I will receive a salmon fish. You can actually do this as much as you as many times as you want to, and yes, you can apply it for different items as well. It doesn't have to be this particular blocks. It always it doesn't have to be these items. You can always change them in the triggers. So for example, if you want to give the player something else, you can always fix the trigger element. So like if you want to give the player some tools, you can, anything, to be honest, even weapons. But I don't recommend using weapons for parkour maps. It's a bit not on the right theme of the whole parkour topics. So like maybe give them some food, maybe some milk, or even the chicken for speedboats. So there you go, you have the triggers how to pick up items. But Normally in other games you will realize that when the player pick up the items, the blocks actually disappear. For example, if I click on this polar bear blocks and I receive something, then the block should be disappear, right? Then it is more like it's more realistic that you already pick it up and other players cannot do the same thing. So if you want to do that, you need to click on this plus icon and add another action to your triggers. You go to the block tab and then you go to remove blocks and just keep the clear blocks on event position. So now let's try that again. If I click on the blocks, I will still receive a salmon fish, but the actual blocks is now disappear. And it makes more sense like that because you already pick it up. So I pick the blocks up, I got another salmon fish, and it's disappear. Other players cannot pick it up again. So in a parkour race, for example, players who get to the platform first, they will be able to pick up the items you have set out for them. And that is just fair because they already tried their best to get there first, right? So that is something you can do. You can do that extra action to make it more realistic, or you can just not use this action and give all the players a limited amount of time to click on the items, pick up the items, right? So that is still that is still not an advanced trigger. Like it is still on an level that anyone can learn, right? But from that from that original trigger, you can build up a lot of things. Just be creative with triggers, just like building things. And now let's go to the click on blocks trigger, but more advanced. Like this is also a pickup triggers, but a more advanced pickup triggers. In order to do this, you need to actually create a creature first. Right. So now if we want to do the advanced trigger for pickup items, we want to create a character, no, a creature, but we will use the blocks models to create this creature. So this is where it get a bit confusing. So although you want this to look like a block, it is indeed a creature. So why do you want to create a creature that looks like a block? Well, just create that, add the plugins into the maps, and I will show you why. So right here we have the actual blocks itself. So this one you have to click on to actually pick up the items. So for the advanced pickup triggers, you won't use a block, but instead you use a creature that looks like a block, right? So this is a creature. As you can see, I can actually push it, so it is a creature. Alright, so why do we need a creature for this advanced trigger? So now let's say we go to this, we create new trigger, we will name this the pickup advanced, right? So now we can go to event. Now we pick player tabs, but we pick something different. We don't click on a block, and we don't want to use click on creature because that way it will be the same thing. We want to click on the where is the I'm pretty sure it's somewhere right here. Long press release obtain status. No, that's weird. Hold on. Collision pickup items. Was it complete? Wait, writing mouse. Was it when player collides? Oh yeah, this is the one. So collision. All right. So you want to pick the player, and you want to pick this one, and then you go to condition. You want to pick the creature that you create that looks like a block. Okay, so go to determine creature type, go to creature in target event, go to no template library, go to custom, and you will find your plugin creature in here. So you pick the creature, you go out again, go to action, again you go to player, it is the same thing, you go to add item. I will for the sake of the tutorial I will do the exact same thing of the pickup trigger, but this is the pickup advanced trigger. So now we don't erase the block, we erase the creature. So we go to the creature tab, go to remove creature, and set this to creature in target event. Right, so you can already guess why this is more advanced than the previous pickup triggers. Right, so oh wait I forgot. If you want to create this advanced trigger, you need the creature to be unable to move. So you want to go to its attribute, you want to turn off the movable. Right, so now we are ready. So if you remember before, so the oh wait, now we have two, we only need one. Hold on, wait, how many HP does this block triggers have? I don't no wait, this block creature has. I need to clean up this guy. What the heck? Right, should be do it right. So now let's test the trigger out. So we don't actually need to click on the creatures like the blocks, we only have to touch it and we receive the item. As you can see, we receive the item super fast, very smooth, and then the creature disappear because we already pick it up. So this is why this is the pickup triggers, but in advance it is because you don't have to click on anything, you just have to run to it and you pick up the items. It is that easy, and you can pick between the pickup triggers or the pickup advanced trigger. I will show both of them again just for this tutorial. So this is the, on the right we have the pickup items trigger. So you click on the blocks or the item and then you pick it up. On the left side we have the advanced pickup items, where you just ran into it and it will pick up the items for you by the triggers. You don't have to click anything, you don't have to do anything. You can see it works just like that. So now you know both of the option you have for pickup items in a Parkour maps. Just pick which one that you think is more suitable, which one is more reasonable for your maps, and just use it out. Maybe mess around with the trigger a bit so you can remember how it works. So here I will go through the 4 triggers we learned so far in this section. If you guys missed any of them, you guys can look back at these. And if you missed the class, I will also have the record for this week, so do not worry about that. Right, so for this final trigger you will still need the tool mode, and you need to select an area. Let's say I select this small area right here, just a small area, and let's say I use this red blocks to mark the area when I switch to play mode. So now I know which is the area that I have already set up. Right, so that, wait, this is the area. So this final area, this final trigger will be the automatically buff trigger. Let me just name it for you guys to see. This will be auto buff triggers. Right, so what does the auto buff triggers does? So it's similar to the First two trigger that we learned is about choosing an area, so we also pick player. We pick player enters the area. We pick the region that we just select right here. Region, no. Is it a region 9? It is region 9. Right, so now we go to we go straight to action. We don't need condition for this trigger. So now we want the player to get some type of buff, like a jumping buff. We have a speed buff, or even shield buff. Any buff you can think of, you can add it into the game. So you want to pick obtain effect, and you want to click on status, template library, and you can pick the beneficial effect you want the player to get, or even the harmful effect. If you want to make like an area that is full of like traps, or like an area that player shouldn't enter, then you can set up the same trigger, but you will pick like the harmful effect. But for the tutorial, I will only do the beneficial effect one. Let's say if I enter that area, I will get the speed buff effect. No, this is the jumping one. This is the sprint. Yes, so I get basic speed increased by 75% for, let's say, for 5 seconds. I think that is fair. That's very decent. So now we can test it out by switching to play mode. So let's say I go this way. As you can see, switch to play mode, and I can still know where the area is because I already marked it with the red sand blocks. I mean, yes, you can make your own parkour maps, and if you don't know how to start, you can go back to the mini learning camp class 1 and 2. I already go through everything in those two classes. Just go to my channel, go to playlist, and you can find the mini learning camp parkour playlist. Click on that and you can go through everything that we have learned so far. Alright, so we go here and you can see I got a speed boost, which I dropped down for no reason. Alright, let's try that again. If I run straight this way, I will get no buff. But if I run into this area right here, I will get a speed boost. And that will actually help me to outrun my opponent if there is one right now. Very cool, right? You can you can do like a jump boost, you can do HP regeneration, a shield push, and anything you can think of. So instead of using an item for an effect, you can do automatically effect by using this simple trigger. Like I said, it is a simple trigger that anyone can pull off, but not a lot of players spend the time to actually invest in this trigger. And if you do, then your parkour creation map will be a lot better than you imagine it will be, and the gameplay experience will also be a lot more better with good triggers in it. So that is basically all the triggers for the parkour maps you need. So let's go through again. We have the reswarm triggers, we have the kill triggers, we have pickup triggers, advanced pickup triggers, and the auto buff like trick triggers. So this one you can set the timer to as long as you want to, or just like 1-2 seconds, depend on what type of effect and what situation you want the players to receive the effect, right? So these are all the triggers you can use. Of course, you can do a lot more complicated triggers if you have the ability to. I always recommend you mess around with the trigger function and try to create your own trigger for your maps. It will make it more original, and you will definitely have a better chance of winning. Welcome Ramens. That's actually cool names. I haven't seen anyone with the name Ramens before. Right, so that's actually all the triggers for this section today. And like I said, if we finish early, I will show you guys a bit about what I mentioned before, that if you're developers, you definitely need this. If you're not a developer yet, you will find this very interesting. Right, so that is it. That is all for today's section. So once again, we are almost at the final class of the mini learning camp about parkour topic, and so far we have learned all of the things about how to build good parkour maps, and I hope that you have a creation of your own parkour maps ready for the event that I showed you earlier. If you don't know how to submit your creation to the main page, or to actually see the information about the event, you can always go to my channel. You go to playlist and you will see a short video that I make about this event. Then you can learn how to submit your creation through that.